Charles Manson, James Franco, and a Greek wedding are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is April 19th, 2021. It is the 109th day of the year. There are 256 days left in 2021, and it's the 16th Monday in the 17th week. It's also the 31st day of spring. We got 63 days left until summer. Today is Bicycle Day, and Bicycle Day has nothing to do with what's going on in your head right now. It has something to do with what was going on in someone else's head. Bicycle Day seeks to commemorate the day Swiss chemist Albert Hofmann purposely ingested LSD. In his research to create an anti-hemorrhaging drug using a fungus, Hofmann had accidentally exposed himself to the synthetic chemical LSD. Noticing some adverse effects, such as dizziness and restlessness, Hofmann decided to ingest what he believed was a safe dose. A few days later, Bicycle Day recognizes Hofmann's experience with LSD in 1943 and acknowledges this as the first acid trip. There's something to celebrate, I guess. After ingestion, Hofmann became anxious, paranoid, and asked an assistant to help him get home. Together, they biked to Hofmann's home, hence the name Bicycle Day. Yeah, that's a weird one. But they don't just celebrate it here, they celebrate in other countries. That is really weird. All right, let's see what else April 19th has given us. 1775, the American Revolutionary War. The war begins with an American victory in Concord during the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Yeah, that was a big day. I think, I wasn't there obviously, but I just imagine from what I know that the British were just shocked that these hemped up farmers and a bunch of Indians just gave them a shellacking. I'm sure because they were the biggest power in the world at the time, and a bunch of farmers defeated them. 1960, students in South Korea hold a nationwide pro-democracy protest against President Ri, eventually forcing him to resign. 1971, Charles Manson is sentenced to death, later commuted to life imprisonment for conspiracy in the Tate LaBianca murders. Charles Manson died on November 19th, 2017, in prison. 1987, The Simpsons become a thing. The Simpsons first appeared as a series of shorts on The Tracy Ullman Show, starting with their first episode called Good Night. Everybody knows who The Simpsons are, invented, created by Matt Groening, and they're on Fox Network, and they have been since forever. The Simpsons take place in a fictional American town called Springfield. They purposely make it hard to determine what state this Springfield is in. Almost every state has a Springfield, first of all. Springfield's geography, though, in the show, it has everything. I mean, it's got coastlines, deserts, farmland, tall mountains. Whatever the story needs, this Springfield has it. Now, Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, has said that Springfield has a lot to do with Portland, Oregon, where he was born and raised. Actually, we have a Springfield here that's not too far from Portland. This was a great show. I probably watched religiously the first 7 or 8 seasons. Then I kind of, petered off, grew out of it or whatever, but it's an amazing show and it's still going to this day. Currently, The Simpsons have done 639 episodes. That's amazing. They've had some of the most talented voice actors, comedians, and just straight up actors on that show over the years, including politicians and everything else. It's crazy, the amount of people that have been on there. During the first 14 months of the show, they sold over $2 billion worth the merchandise, whatever, t-shirts, toys, whatever. And most of it was because of Bart. They were selling more Bart t-shirts and Bart dolls than any other character in the show. So because of the popularity, Bart was often the most promoted member of the Simpson family in advertisements and shows and everything else. The Simpsons right now are in their 32nd season. That's incredible. It's a cartoon. 32 seasons of a cartoon, and people still love it. I've just recently started rewatching all of them, or catching up where I left off many years ago. They have them all on Disney Plus now. I think all of them are on there, and I've just started rewatching them. It's a great show. 1993, the 51-day FBI siege of the Branch Davidian building in Waco, Texas, ends when a fire breaks out. 76 Davidians, including 18 children under the age of 10, die in the fire. This was a total frickin' fiasco. I mean, it's kind of been pushed to the background. I mean, it was so many years ago, 1993, where, that was quite a while ago. A lot of people died in that, and it didn't need to be that way. 1995, the Oklahoma City bombing. The federal building in Oklahoma City is bombed, killing 168 people, including 19 children under the age of 6. Now, the idiot that did this, Timothy McVeigh, did it in response to the Branch Davidian thing 2 years earlier. It's just too bad. 2011, Fidel Castro resigns as the first secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba after holding the title since July of 1961. 2020, a killing spree in Nova Scotia, Canada leaves 22 people and the perpetrator dead, making it the deadliest rampage in the country's history. The clown that did this was a denturist. He, made dentures or whatever. And afterwards, they talked to all his friends, and he was obsessed with his girlfriend, extremely jealous, and he just had some issues. A lot of them said they kind of weren't surprised that he did something like this. The extremeness of it, they said, was kind of alarming, but they always felt he was going to do something weird. But this guy dressed like a police officer, got a mocked-up police car, and this helped him evade detection because he went to like 3 different locations, and the police were looking for him the whole time, and they didn't realize he was in a police car dressed like a policeman. Or I should say RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Movies released on April 19, 2002, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. This was a great movie. If you've never seen it, see it. They did that follow-up one. It wasn't that good, but this one was excellent. Born on April 19th, 1978, James Franco, American actor, director, producer, and screenwriter. He is known for his roles in films such as Spider-Man, the trilogy, Milk, Eat, Pray, Love, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and so many more. One called This Is the End is great, where he plays himself and all these other actors play themselves in an apocalyptic thing, and it is one of the weirdest but best movies I've ever seen. Died on April 19th, 2000. We lost Norris McWhirter. I think that's his name. McWhirter. Anyway, he's an English author and activist. He co-founded the Guinness Book of World Records with his twin. He was known for having a photographic memory. They wrote the world's records between 1955 and 1975. He died at the age of 78 due to a heart attack. Now, what's really weird is apparently for most of the time, he had the books memorized. So you could ask him, what's the biggest auditorium in the world? And he would tell you along with its capacity. I saw a clip of him doing this. It was amazing. This is back from the 50s, but still. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go forth, be successful, and be nice to each other.